The Society of the Spectacle by Debord. Read by SteaDyy ΔΕlτα. Part 1. Separation Perfected. 25. Separation is the alpha and the omega of the spectacle. The institutionalization of the social division of labor, the formation of classes, had constructed a first sacred contemplation, the mythical order with which every power covers itself from the beginning. The sacred has justified the cosmic and ontological order which correspond to the interests of the masters. It has explained and embellished that which society could not do. Thus, all separate power has been spectacular, but the adherence of all to an immobile image only signified the common acceptance of an imaginary prolongation for the poverty of real social activity, still largely felt as a unitary condition. The modern spectacle, on the contrary, expresses what society can do, but in this expression, the permitted is absolutely opposed to the possible. The spectacle is the preservation of unconsciousness within the practical change of the conditions of existence. It is its own product, and it has made its own rules. It is a pseudo-sacred. It shows what it is: separate power developing within itself, in the growth of productivity by means of the incessant refinement of the division of labor into a parcelization of gestures, which are then dominated by the independent movement of machines, and working for an ever more expanded market. All community and all critical sense are dissolved during this movement, in which the forces which could have grown have separated and have not yet been rediscovered. 26. With the generalized separation of the worker from his product, every unitary viewpoint of accomplished activity and all direct personal communication among producers are lost. Accompanying the progress of the accumulation of separate products and the concentration of the productive process, unity and communication become exclusively the attribute of the directorate of the system. The success of the economic system of separation is the proletarianization of the world. 27. Through the very success of separate production, in the sense of production of the separate, the basic experience related in primitive societies to a principal work is in the process of being displaced by non-work, by inactivity, at the pole of the system's development. But this activity is in no way liberated from productive activity. It depends on productive activity. It is an uneasy and admiring submission to the necessities and the results of production. It is itself a product of its rationality. There can be no liberty outside of activity, and in the context of the spectacle, all activity is negated, just as real activity has been captured in its entirety for the global erection of this result. Thus, the present liberation from labor, the augmentation of leisure, is in no way a liberation within labor, nor a liberation of the world shaped by this labor. None of the activity stolen within labor can be rediscovered in the submission to its result. 28. The economic system founded on isolation is a circular production of isolation. The technology is based on isolation, and the technical process isolates in turn. From the automobile to television, all the goods selected by the spectacular system are also its weapons for a constant reinforcement of the conditions of isolation, of lonely crowds. The spectacle constantly rediscovers its own assumptions more concretely.